nobody has any issues. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. Okay, so let me just share my screen here. Get going right away. Okay, many of you have been with us before. So there are some changes, though, you need to be aware of. But there are people with us, some notable people, inshallah, who are attending for the first time. So just wanted to go through a couple of items again. Uh, Go ahead and interrupt me if you have any questions or any comments. If you've seen something over the last few years you volunteered or can add any tidbit of information, please feel free. It's kind of an open session, inshallah. So today I'm going to try to quickly go over the camp vision and history, day of departure, camp location and logistics, housing and facilities, teams and rotations, programs and activities, counselors and chaperones, security and safety, and insurance. Inspire Me Camp is a values-driven camp that fosters Islamic youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility through experience-intensive overnight adventure camps. Inspire Camp focuses on challenging youth through well-designed programs that will advance their physical and mental strength while developing and solidifying their Muslim identity, therefore extending the legacy of our dear Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This camp is about the kids. 100% about the children. Over the last 11 years, we've seen so much growth at these camps. We've seen sisters wear the hijab after the camp based on some of our impact sessions. We've seen children who are scared to be, pulled by a boat, get on the boat. There's an enormous amount of confidence that the kids are able to achieve through this camp. So really all of our job, we're all there for the kids. You're not there for Wael Kusheri. You're not there because MFC's got a bunch of kids going. We're not there for any reason other than every single individual child in that camp. And this year we have 225 kids. I want you to think about the experience that they're going to have from the minute that they walk in to the camp to the minute that they leave. We are all responsible for that experience, and it's really important. And the feedback that we get is normally excellent. The reason why this camp is so successful is based on the team that we aggregate, that we bring together every year. There are so many different camps and there are so many different activities in the Muslim community, but this camp really stands out primarily based on the team that we aggregate, people that come together who are selfless and do this solely and go up almost a week of their life solely just for the children. So I want to emphasize that we want to challenge these kids. We want to push them as much as we can to zip line into the bay, to take that, first, ride on a tube or whatever the case may be. And also, Islamically, we need to challenge them to be honest. Some of the impact sessions that we'll talk about with regard to discussions that we'll have with the youth, they have to be experience centric. So we're not lecturing the children. Majority of the impact sessions or the talks that are most influential and really hit off with the kids the most are those where we speak from experience and from the heart, and kind of tell them how life has treated us and some of the things that we've learned. These are the things that I feel have really made a difference with regard to these impact sessions. To the extent that I remember one year, Imam Chad was talking about how he went over to Egypt just to learn Arabic and the Quran. And there are kids after that camp that literally signed up and left the house and went abroad, and some went to Texas to learn Arabic and such. So we can influence these kids in a very positive way. Give me 1 second. The first slide seems to want to take a second. I don't know why. Okay, here we go. Okay, so Overall responsibility, like I said, I know some of us have family going. I know some of us have friends that we met at this camp for many years. Our overall responsibility is the experience for the children and for um, the safety of the children. So what I want all of us to be doing is everybody needs to be decoding their environment all the time. You're not only responsible for your kids in your cabin, you're responsible for every kid on the camp. I want you to be picking up if a kid is, somewhere, heading towards the woods, if there's some issue that needs to be, if you notice something that's unusual, you need to get on the walkie-talkie and you need to make sure that we know. So although you have a lot of work with the kids in your cabin, I just want to make sure that everybody understands that every single child at that camp is your responsibility as well, inshallah. Seating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. For the first year, this year, historically, and Amir and Yahya and a lot of the people, everybody sisterhood who's on here, we've all sat in groups. So the sisters will sit with the sisters, and we have these packs of men sitting together, laughing and jeering each other throughout all of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This year, I would like every one of us to sit at a table. I've noticed over the last couple of years, there's some predatory activity from some of the older boys where they'll go sit at, a younger boy's table and, eat more food. There are special needs kids, the special needs kids who are coming to this camp who are on the fringe, they're on the spectrum. They're increasing exponentially. So we have more of them this year. And what I want to make sure is that they're not at a table where, somebody eats all the turkey bacon or, there's some kind of nonsense like that. And that's happened over the last couple of years. So this year, please, I don't want the men sitting together and the sisters sitting together. Everyone should find a table, and we should be sitting with different tables. I'm fine if there's two brothers maybe sitting with each other, at a certain table, if all the other tables are covered. Okay. So any questions on that with regard to seating? This is kind of new. So the key thing is that we make sure that at that table, everybody gets enough food, and there's plenty of food. So there's endless amounts of food. But sometimes, people peg some of the, higher protein foods and there's less for the younger kids. So I would like everybody to kind of spread out and take a table, inshallah. Late arrivals. You will notice there are a few kids coming late to camp. They're coming on Monday. So if there's two kids in your cabin that aren't there, they'll be listed on your cabin list as arriving late. So you'll know that they're not coming, and the date on when they're coming, you will know. So you'll be introduced to them the next time you're in the cabin. But don't fret if there isn't if there are kids that are on your cabin list and they're not in your cabin. Sometimes also some kids just don't show up and nobody calls us. It doesn't happen a lot, but occasionally you'll have a situation where the kid just didn't come to camp and we weren't informed. So you'll just, communicate that back to Brother Amir, when we do, all of the camp check-ins, and you'll explain to him that this brother or this sister is missing from your cabin. Early departures. There's two adults who have to leave early because they're traveling. Those adults, I think one of them is on the call today, or maybe not. They they'll have coverage with regard to their cabin, but they have to turn over the cabin. So, that has to be clear as well. Is that if you're leaving early and it's only two brothers, you have to clear that also with Brother Amir or Brother Alex. Uh, Importance of communication. I'll let Brother Amir speak on importance of communication. Most people will get a walkie-talkies. Is that correct, Brother Amir?
Yep, that is correct. We have plenty, but if you don't get one, don't be offended. At least there'll be at least one, and I can talk about it whenever ready.
Okay. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Cabin rosters. Everybody will get a cabin roster. Special needs children. If you have a special needs children, there's a few of them in your cabin. You need to be cognizant of making sure they in no way get bullied. If they're going to do a skit, sometimes the kids get a little bit edgy when they're doing the skit, so that the kid is not bullied during the skit. You should be able to know the child with special needs. These are, p children who are fully functional, but on the spectrum. Uh, Brother Taha, you're on the call, Brother Taha.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, Brother Taha, there's a few kids that I would like you to look out for, and I'll give you
Yeah.
that list and introduce you to them. Okay.
Okay, sounds good, inshallah.
Okay, Jazakallah khair. So, it's amazing. I think there needs to eventually be a camp for special needs kids because more and more are coming to Inspire Camp, and I feel like somebody needs to organize just a camp for special needs kids because there's a lot out there that really they don't make it to our camp for the camp sells out or whatever the case may be. Moving right along here. North Bay, forms. Please get your forms in. If you're a counselor, if you're a volunteer, you have to fill out the North Bay form. I sent those. I will send them again. Make sure you fill out the North Bay form. Make sure you fill out the Inspire Camp form. This is for the Islamic Center of Maryland. This protects the Islamic Center of Maryland. This here is for North Bay. You have to have both of these sent in to us. So make sure you have those done, please. Any questions on these forms? Okay. So right now we have a bus coming from Adams. We have a single bus coming from Adams. Sister Hella, are you going to be on that bus?
Yes, assalamu alaikum. Yes,
Alaikum salam.
inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay, Sister Hella, is Sister Hella on the call? So you'll have Sister Hella, uh, and who else might be on? Sister Dina. Is Sister Dina on the call by any chance? Okay, so Sister Dina and Sister Hella will be with you from Adams Center, and I'm going to send down Yusuf with all of the registrations. So if you can make sure you have a single bus down there, it's a 44 seater. So if you can make sure that everybody gets on the bus, bags in the back, inshallah, and uh, and I think there's probably about 38 kids coming from that area, okay? So we have the ICM bus and we have the ISB bus, and everybody's heading here to North Bay. This we had to cancel this New Jersey van because last year we ran this van. It was like 7 or 8 kids, or maybe it was 10 kids last year. This year it's 31 kids from New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. So we couldn't run a bus. It was just too expensive. So they wanted $2,300 from here to here and then back 2,300. So they wanted $4,600 just for this one run, but it is about three hours plus. So, the Connecticut folks are a little upset, but they're informed. Any questions about that? Okay, so these are the four areas where the day of departure. Either kids are being dropped off at North Bay, or they're being dropped off at the Islamic Center of Maryland. There's two buses there, 44 seaters, or the Islamic Society of Baltimore. Those are the three locations that have, I'm sorry, and Adams Center in Virginia. These are the three locations that have buses. Okay, this location, North Bay, that's going to be all of Jersey, Delaware, New York, and Connecticut coming down into these, coming directly to North Bay. We'll have staff up there. Okay, the registration is going to be very easy because hopefully we'll have all of the forms collected. So all you'll have to do, the teams, the welcome teams, is just check off the welcome teams. Sister Hood, are you online?
Yes, I'm online.
I think so, sister. So I'm counting on Brother Yahya to cover ISB with his team. If he can't, if he could just let me know, okay?
Inshallah. He's listening on the call too.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum, brother. Okay. Okay, so ISB, I'm gonna cover Islamic Center of Maryland. I'm gonna cover that with Alet Yunus and a group. Sister Stacy is not gonna be with us, so I will cover that with a group for Islamic Center of Maryland, and Adams Center is covered. Loading guests onto the buses, ICM and ISB is easy because we're going to load girls and boys. There's two buses. Virginia, Sister Hannah, Sister Hawa, and Sister Dina. If you guys can make sure that, obviously that there's some separation between the boys and the girls, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Okay, one bag. Some people bring crazy amounts of bags. We'll take whatever the case may be, unless you feel like it's something abnormal. Then just call me if there's an issue with the parent. But some people are bringing, bags like they're going around the world. One bag is good. But we'll do the best to get all those bags on. Unloading at North Bay. It's very important that when they unload at North Bay, that they go into the dining hall and they get their cabin assignments. They'll have their cabin assignments before, but they have to be dispatched. So Brother Amir, when you're up there at North Bay, there you have to have people, and you can take from the A team or whatever the case may be, take some of those young men and have them greet. So we need greeters to direct the children. Last year was really good. The year before, like the kids are just, walking all over the place. Some actually walking into the parking lot. So we got to make sure that we have a good team to greet and to direct. Here's all the bus locations. Again, we're leaving at 10:45 from all locations. This staggers them so that, Adams comes a little bit later. We don't want all the buses coming at one time. ISB will be there first, ICM second, and so on. If you're coming to the camp, there's other camps going to be there leaving, so you shouldn't go to the camp super early. We'll have staff there around 1 o'clock or so, but you shouldn't show up at 1 o'clock. There's nothing to do except stand in the middle of, 150, 200 kids. So if you're going up there, if you don't have any responsibilities and you're driving to North Bay, do not get to North Bay unless Amir needs you up there. Don't get to North Bay like at, 1 o'clock. Nobody needs you there, and you're just going to be in the way. So try to show up, closer to 2:30. 2:30 is fine. Would you say that's the case, Amir? Or
Yeah, we don't want a conflict with the camp that's already there. So, I mean, if you notice they're not leaving till 1:45, they're not going to show up till 3:34.
okay, for those who have not gone before, this is the pool. This is where we launch all the boats. This is a hotel here. These here are the girls' cabins. This is the dining hall. These are the boys' cabins. This is the gym area. This is the theater here. And theater is right here. This is called the Flats up here. We're going to be doing some stargazing down here this year. We've got a lot of good programs. Through these woods, there's a lot of different trails for hiking. And up here will be archery and on Pond 10. So
Brother
here-
Weil,
Yes, go ahead.
this is Brother Amir. How you doing, bro?
How you doing, brother?
I'm the love man. Just real quick for the departure time. I know you said 10:45. I think you meant 1:45, correct?
Yeah, 1:45. Did I say 10:45?
Yeah, just so I would make
Yeah.
sure. I'm old,
Yes.
so I might have heard it wrong. But
Yeah, it's
but then we're
1:45
telling
across the board.
parents though, like be there like 1:15 to make sure like they're not like waiting until the last minute.
Yeah, I mean it departs at 1:45, so they should be there. We've instructed parents to come, before Dhuhr prayer. So, they
Okay.
should be there at 1 o'clock to register. But
Inshallah.
this is bus departure, so they should be there an hour. And I'm glad you said that. What I'll do is I'll send out an email and remind parents to show up at least an hour early.
Thank you, brother.
Jazakallah khair. Okay, so again, we have a full medical center here. Sister Senna, Brother Sinol, they're going to be heading up medical. Here's where you're going to come in. There's a parking lot right here. If you're driving to the camp, there's a parking lot right here before the circle. If you get into the circle, drive around the circle, and then come right into the parking lot right here. So you park your car. The further back away from the center would be the best because we're going to be staying for a week. So leave these other spots for people coming and going. But you're free there. You need no permits, nothing. Just park your car and take your bags over to Blackbeard Dining. If there's any questions on the day that we get to camp, send everybody here to the dining hall. Brother Amir and his team will be there so they can direct anybody that needs to be directed. Again, here are the boys' cabins. Here are the girls' cabins. And you'll notice the names Waxwing. There's a Waxwing 1, Waxwing 2, Flycatcher 1, Flycatcher 2. So this is a building with more than one cabin, okay? This is the flats. If you see this on the program, this is what's called the flats. This is the gym. This here at Horseshoe Point, there's like a small shop that opens here. They can get snacks. A lot of the kids are getting snacks these days. This is Arts and Crafts Center. This is Sister Hella and Sister Hella are going to be running arts and crafts this year. And this is the girls' cabins. The pool is here. And this is the bay. This is called the Susquehanna Flats. It is the top north end of the bay. Any questions, folks? Okay. So with regard to cabin assignments, the cabin assignments, you'll get your cabin assignments before the camp, inshallah. The camp program rotations, all you have to do is look at the program. It'll have your name. Sometimes we'll have you kind of watching over soccer. Sometimes you'll be in the pool, right? You have to be where it says you need to be. That way we can cover. If you're not supposed to be anywhere, then you're free to be anywhere that you'd like. The key thing is we'd like you to kind of walk around and make sure that everything's going well. If you need to rest because, you get tired, you can take a break, you can take a nap, whatever the case may be. We have no issues with that. Just make sure that somebody knows where you are before you go and you know where your cabin is supposed to be as well. Um, the safety protocol, we have a basic safety protocol with regard to, making sure that all the kids are accounted for at night. Make sure that, all of the adventure activities have our staff as well as North Bay staff to make sure all the kids are safe. So nightly count, you before after lights out, you'll have a nightly count where we'll call to your cabin to clear your cabin. So either Brother Mohsen or Brother Alex or Brother Amir will call to your cabin. Make sure you know that 11 o'clock, between 11 and 11:30, you're going to get a call on your walkie-talkie to clear your cabin. If you don't clear your cabin, then we have to walk down there. You want to say something on that, Brother Amir?
Sure. Let me just start from the top, just regarding communications.
Sure.
Sure. So Bismillah, assalamu alaikum, everybody. So I just want to make sure it's clear when everyone shows up. So I'll be up there early with a few of the brothers. We'll decide that in here a little later. When you arrive, Sister Center will also be there to check in for any medical conditions and those type of things. Usually when you walk into the, well, can you put up the, if you have a picture of the, not the cafeteria, the dining hall, thank you. So the dining hall right there, as you know, it's actually with the wellness center right across from there, right there. So we're gonna walk into the dining hall, right through the door is right actually where that little red cross sign is right there. Take a left, we'll have tables set up. Most likely we'll go into that room. What's the name of that room again in the corner? Um,
I can't remember.
yeah, I can't remember, but either way, we'll direct you. And so, regarding the communications, we'll have radios for most of you. We probably have somewhere between 20 and 30 radios. We're going to try to label those to make sure you're responsible for them. Those radios are purchased by, some of the brothers. And so it's a donation from them. So we want to respect that and make sure we get it back. Simple communication. If you want to talk to somebody, you just basically just tell them, like for example, Amir to Weil, something like that, and you say go for a while and that kind of thing. You'll see and you'll start to hear. It is a little bit of a challenge to keep those radios near you at times, but it is important to have that. Weil, I can't remember, we don't have any lanyards, do we? This
Yes.
year?
Well, lanyards, inshallah.
Okay, so sometimes just having the lanyards on, the earpieces we really don't use. It's just too cumbersome with all the things that we're doing. Make sure you charge your radios at night. How you keep that in mind, and they should last pretty much all day. If you end up going into your bunk or need to go charge it, go for it. Let me know. Sometimes we can switch those out and get you something new. But we do ask you to keep it with you, close to you, and paying close attention to it. At any point, if you need something, you can reach out to myself, Mohsen or Alex or Wael. Yahya is there as well. And just pay close attention. You'll hear us call, not especially, but for anything that might be like sweeping the cabins, like for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Sometimes if you're far away, we won't be able to hear each other. So for example, myself, Mohsen, and maybe Alex will be up on the hill upon 10. And so reaching it down all the way down to the docks is just not going to work that far. Um, Either way,
Brother Amir, I'm sorry to cut you off. Can you explain what sweeping the cabin means? Because
sure. Sweeping basically a lot of times, they say, for example, for breakfast, you can sleep after Fajr, whether it's you and or your cabin. But when breakfast comes at 8 o'clock, Wael,
yes,
8 o'clock, we'll see that there are some stragglers. We'll see that, oh, you'll get to know some of the kids, you'll get to know other counselors and people who are there, and you want to make sure that you at least form you're going to see, oh, we're short or people aren't showing up. And so sweeping the cabin is that you're responsible for that cabinet, and you can also be responsible for others as well, right? Let's just say one cabinet is, the counselor's already in the dining hall, and you'll just say, hey, Mohsen to Amir, I'm going to sweep such and such cabin, and we're just going to walk through it all. And sometimes you have to sweep the the gym or anything else, or down at the beach or whatever the case may be. We just want to, I would say to you that 200 and some odd kids is a lot to keep an eye on, but you just keep an eye on your crew, on your cabin, pretty much. All right. Am I missing anything, Wild? Is there anything else?
No, I think that's excellent. Okay, Fajr prayer. Please make sure that all the kids are up for Fajr. If you're having an issue with a young person, just make sure that one of the people, one of the coordinators, knows that this young man won't wake up for Fajr. Sisters also, we'd like the sisters for Fajr. If they're not praying, that's fine. But if they are praying, we'd like them to join in the Fajr, the congregational prayers, inshallah. Dress code for swimming, the younger girls can wear a t-shirt and maybe pants, some type of pants to their ankles. The older sisters, they need to be covered. Their wrist needs to be covered, and their ankles, something to their ankles. The hijab is not mandatory, so they do not have to wear the hijab. With regard to cleanliness, some of these cabins get outrageous, and it's all, has to do with the counselor. If the counselor and the chaperone are good, the cabins stay clean. If they're kind of lackadaisical about getting after the kids, the cabins turn into a nightmare. So I would advise you, especially some of the new brothers, is you need to draw the lines from the first day. Okay, make sure that everybody understands, what you expect. Bathrooms, toilet paper, toothpaste, all of these issues right here. I'll show you in this slide here. You might have to instruct, especially some of the younger kids, like this is the shower. We've got a lot of new kids this year. It's a long shower. They need to hang their clothes here. And you as a chaperone, you as a counselor, please, these are all like your kids now. So explain to them for them to hang their clothes here, go into the shower with the curtain closed and step into the dry area and go ahead and get dressed behind the curtain. You'll find some kids that go into the bathroom and they throw all their stuff everywhere. It's all, clothes everywhere. That's what they're used to at home. What I implore you to do is speak to them nicely and gently. Sometimes we're tired, sometimes it's hot. And I always have to remind myself during this whole camp is, these kids are coming here for an experience, not to be berated or treated poorly. And I'm guilty of that in the past as well, because it's very, it's hot, it's intense, there's so many kids. But I ask you to consistently stay calm and direct them in a way that makes sense. Okay. When there should be nothing on these floors when we come in and check at night, everything should be stocked away. These should be all neat. So we need to make sure that the cabins are in good shape. Any questions on the cabins? Dirty clothing.
Assalamualaikum, brother. I found that having the award for this brother Adnan, having the award at the end for cleanest cabin was highly motivating for the young campers at least. They were making sure that their cabin was tidy just in case of a surprise inspection.
Okay, so we'll announce that as inshallah, so that they know that there is an award, inshallah. Brother Adnan is online. He does this very well here, this nightly discussion. But what he does is he does icebreakers, and a lot of us have never chaperoned. We have never been, through the Boy Scout system. So icebreakers, when you first get in the cabin, you sit down in a circle. Everybody knows each other, even the older kids. I think this is beneficial for the older kids as well, to get them in some type of icebreaker initially when you meet everybody. And at night, before you sleep, some brothers are excellent at, giving some type of small khatara or, mawaz, some type of information that would be very helpful. It's valuable for the children. So think about that as well. It's really, your cabin and the kids that are going to, be with you, the most value, try to bring the most value that you can to them, inshallah. Dirty clothes, we've asked the kids to come with bags so that they have dirty clothes. There are lines behind behind the cabins where they can wash their clothes and hang their clothes if need be. You can help them do that. Sleep comfort, it's air conditioned. Cabin checkout. North Bay will charge us extra if they have to clean. They bring vacuums the last day. Make sure your cabin's vacuumed up. Make sure that everything is out of there. Make sure that all of the pillows are on one bed. Make sure that all of your linens are put outside in the bins that they have. Make sure that the cabin is impeccable, inshallah. And it reflects on us as Muslims, inshallah. Connect with your youth. Phone policy. At lights out, and we can have a discussion on this if somebody feels differently. But lights out, we need to collect all the phones. I don't care if you put them in a bag. I don't care if you put them in a box. We last year we gave a box or whatever the case may be. I don't care where you put them, but you have to be in possession of them. The last thing I want is I don't want kids scrolling all night so then they can't wake up for Fetch. Okay. Anybody have any, comments or positions on that other than that? Okay. So phone policy, sisters and brothers, after lights out, you can let them run a little bit after lights out. Then all those phones are collected. They're put in a stowaway bag, and those phones are with you guys. They can turn the phones off, or the sound off, whatever the case may be. But we don't want them scrolling, TikTok all night. Again, here are the cabins. The linens and all the associated bedding and pillows and covers, those are all, we pay for those through North Bay, so you do not have to bring any sleeping bag or anything like that. Okay. Medical staff, we spoke about. There is a full infirmary. If there's something happens, get on the microphone, call somebody in charge, Brother Amir, and we will dispatch whoever's on duty. Okay, restaurant staff. There's nobody allowed to walk back into the restaurant. This happens every year where, it's kind of folksy, like kind of heavy the way we do the Muslims, and brothers want to walk back there and help. We don't want anybody to help. North Bay doesn't want anybody in the kitchen. Okay, so let the A team handle the kitchen. I know you want to go, I know you want to be nice, but please just stay out of the kitchen. Okay, if you're out of drinks, let the A team know they'll bring you drinks. If you're out of food, just be patient. If you're out of food, just be patient. The A team will get you the food that you need, but please, don't wander back there, trying to be a good Samaritan. Okay. Adventure staff. You're going to learn. Some of you will be.
Well, I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
This is
brother.
Brother Amir again. So
Ahmed, go ahead.
I know last year for me it was fixed. We were connected, but we walked back in where they would just give us the trays and then we'd walk back out and distribute them to the tables. Is that still the case, or only the A team will be doing that?
What happened last year?
Last year, when the meals would be prepped, we'd go back and the workers would already have them. We'd kind of collect it on the tray, and then we'd walk it back to the tables and distribute the food to each table.
Okay, I don't remember you ever doing that, brother Ahmed.
No, well, if you remember that
Oh.
we had the crew that was supposed to be there, and so we're very short-handed. So
Okay.
it wasn't like we had, it wasn't like an intentional recruitment, but because we were so short-staffed, I think people started jumping in, and it wasn't out of control by any means. It's just because of what happened. And when the kitchen crew didn't show up, the not part of our camp, that's when we had to kind of
Okay. If, if
adapt.
that if that was the case and brother Amir knows about it, then fine. Then I have no issue with it. The key thing again, I would like the young men to handle the kitchen prep. Brother Ahmed, Jazakallah khair for helping last year, and if it happens again this year where you have to help, obviously I have no issues with that. The key thing is historically, We've had people just wandering back into the kitchen, okay? And that's not what we want. Um, Adventure staff, you're going to be trained, some of you, on how to connect the harness for the zip lines and to put on, you know, life preservers for the children. You have these are very serious things, except especially the life preservers. There is North Bay staff, but if you don't know how to put the life preserver on, you need to ask North Bay staff. They will train you, but the life preserver, if it's not put on properly, can actually drown the child. Okay, so the life preserver has to be the right size and it has to be tight. So again, if you're picked for adventure staff, and some of you have done this for years, you'll be asked to do things that that are really serious. So you have to you have to be very careful. When you're handling the children, especially when you're putting them on the zip lines, they double check everything, but make sure that you know what you're doing. If not, ask somebody. Dock staff. The dock staff has to be very strong because there's always kids coming down there. They want to tube, they want to do X, Y, and Z, and the dock gets very busy. So I've got my brother. He's going to be with us this year, inshallah. He's going to be down there at the dock, and he's got a couple of people with him. So, and brother Wael also Hijazi, he's coming with his own boat. So he'll also be working, the dock and such. So if you don't need to be on the dock, I would recommend not going down there during tubing and all that because there's already enough people down there. Education. We have these impasse sessions. Brother Imam Rafai is online. Imam Sami just called me. He's got an issue. We have Imam Ragab, and I'll discuss with you. So, and there are people speaking, from us. Some of the volunteers are going to be speaking as well. So just check your program schedule, and it'll show you where you need to be. And the topics we haven't really picked. It's kind of fluid right now. So once the program comes out on Tuesday, we'll give you an idea on topics. If you haven't already sent me the topics, some of you have already sent me topics. Multimedia staff. In the theater, there's a lot of multimedia equipment that's worth probably 150, $200,000. Up top there, if you see kids lollygagging in that room, please get them out of there. That multimedia room is expensive, and we don't want to damage anything. That's how we control all of the microphones and everything associated with the camp. Any questions on that, folks? Okay, I'm doing good here. Okay, our imams, Sheikh Rajab Abdul Min'am, mashallah alayh, beautiful, beautiful brother. He just came to ICM. He looks kind of rough in this picture. He looks like he's gonna, you know what I'm saying? He looks like he's about to give a fatwa, but he's really, down to earth, very, very, youth centric. He's bringing his 5 children, mashallah. So happy to have him here. I don't know if we were going to be able to get him. Imam Sami is going to be with us, doing the Athqad in the morning. Where would we be without Imam Sami? Imam Rafai, mashallah Ali, beautiful voice, and has just been, kind of a pillar of this camp for the last few years. He just always shows up. He's always been there. So we're so happy to have him with us this year. And Sheikh Amir from Dar Taqwa, he's going to be with us at least, I think, 3 days. He might be there the whole camp. But he's signed on as well. He's going to be giving some talks, and he'll be with his children as well. I think his children are going as well. So these are the imams that we have. They will have khatiras. They will be leading the prayers. We have a brother named Brother Mahmoud. Give a shout out to Brother Mahmoud. He'll be there this year as he was last year. He's part of the A team. Amazing voice, inshallah. So looking forward to hearing him this year as well.
Don't say anything good about him, please. Thanks.
Okay, I'll make sure not to. I don't know who that was, but I'll make sure not to.
It's your son, bro.
Okay, Shadi. Medical personnel, Sister Sana, medical facilities. There's full medical facilities, health and safety protocols in place, security plan is in place, insurance is all done. Some of the historic data points I'll talk about. So with regard to the program, we'll have that out on Tuesday. It's late. We're just finishing the tides, to figure out when we can get the boats out and so on. Communication methods, Brother Amir has spoken about it. The coverage up in North Bay isn't great for T-Mobile specifically. Verizon isn't that great either. So communication methods are walkie-talkie, WhatsApp, and the phone if you can get people. And we're going to have daily meetings between a few people here and there as needed. As we kind of see the camp progress. Phone policy, best practices. I just want you to warn kids if they're sitting on their phones, give them one opportunity. If you see it again, give them another chance. The third time, we need to take the phone and we'll hold it to the next day. Okay. Anybody has an issue with that, you call one of us and we'll make sure to send somebody to discuss it with the child. Okay. Security. So we have perimeters. So there will be people in charge of just holding the perimeters, make sure that we have the beach line covered, especially at night. We have the area by Pond 10 covered and around the cabins. The biggest problem that we have is I don't want people in those cabins when there's activities. That's the worst place for our kids to be. We want to make sure that they are not in their cabins during specifically, after lunch until dinner. I don't want kids lunching literally in their cabins on their phones. So that it hasn't happened, but a few years back we had to push kids out of the cabins occasionally, right after COVID.
Well, let me just, I do want to
Right.
emphasize that point if you don't mind, Javi. I
Sure.
just do want to make sure I know that everyone's going to be has to be in two different places at times where you have to be, following, maybe you're teaching, you're doing something. But I will tell you, if we have alhamdulillah, last year we were very fortunate. The weather was amazing. Um, if it does become hot, there's going to be this tendency, like if they're on the flats, if they're doing the telematches, or if they, I don't want to do the zip line, they'll just retreat to their cabins. So, if you might hear, that's another time we might say, hey, can someone sweep the boys' cabin, the girl, just to make sure, because they're not supposed to be in their cabins. They need to be out and about during those activities, or even during the talks in the morning. Right? It's very rare that they're in their cabins or should be in their cabins. Just want to make sure that's clear.
Okay. And your cabins need to know if they don't go to the talks, they don't do the adventure. So they have to go to the Islamic talks. Make sure. Another thing is the whole camp runs off a program. We're going to list all the program is going to be in the main dining hall. We put it up on the wall. It's a huge poster and it has all of the times, it has all of the locations, it has all of the names, it has all of the cabins, and it has all of the activities. So any child has a question for you, point them to that. They can go figure out where they're supposed to be. Any questions? Okay, this is what a typical program will look like. This is an older program. The programs have gotten even more sophisticated, but you'll find that, there's a basketball tournament happening, a soccer tournament, capture the flag, family feud, and assorted sports all happening at the same time. And you might have to be at some of those. Okay. The impact sessions here, impact sessions, now they're much more split up. So you'll know if you're supposed to be at an impact session. During the day, right after lunch, there will be pool for the boys, pool for the girls. Arts and crafts is running, tubes is running, ropes is running, canoeing is running, zip lines running. Everything's running at the same time. Then we have dinner, and that's just gives you an idea of like an average day, and it's actually more than that now. So this is an older program. It's a little more sophisticated now. Any questions on the program? For generally people like the food, so we've been doing kind of the same stuff for many years. French toast. Normally we do some pancakes. There's always a continental breakfast, so there's always fruit. There's always cereal and milk and such. We do scrambled eggs. All the food is halal. Everybody at the camp eats halal that week. For lunch, you'll have chicken patty, which is very popular. The chicken fingers, the burger is popular. I don't know if anybody has any comments on the food. The beef cheesesteak normally turns into like this like loose meat type of ground beef thing. So I told him this year we need actually a cheesesteak. So hopefully we'll get a cheesesteak.
Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah, we don't want no mystery meat.
Okay, so I'm about to cut off my son here.
Eating is gonna be fun there.
Okay. All right. We have rotisserie chicken, lasagna, we normally eat lasagna, rotisserie chicken. We normally get the pot roast. And that's what we normally get. Obviously, you don't have to pay for anything here. These prices are all included. Any questions on the food? There are some food sensitivities. Some people will bring their own food. We've got that worked out. There's some special needs kids that I was speaking to their families today, who who don't like certain things. So I told them they have to eat what's there. So they liked a lot of what's there, but their parents are like, well, for dinner they don't really like this or that. It doesn't matter. They have to eat what's there. So we have to we have to kind of push them a little bit to eat what's there. They can't be as picky as they are at home. Okay, again, this is the facilities if you've never been there. This is the theater. This is the dining hall, some of the tubing, and some of the gym if you've never been. Last year we brought some animals. This is the rock wall. This is the canoeing, and we have archery, and we have BB
And
guns this
we
year.
were praying.
I'm sorry. And we have archery and BB guns for the younger kids, so they're going to be learning how to shoot BB guns. The younger boys and girls, inshallah. This is like the pool hall. This is the area where we do the talks. This is what the cabins look like from outside for you if you've never been there, and that's the dining hall. Okay. So that is everything that I have for you. Let me see with regard to the chat here. Okay. Okay. I like that. Inspire me, fam. Jazakallah khair, brother Abba. Yes, there's a clothing line to dry suits and towels. Okay. Who is iPhone? Can somebody tell me who iPhone is?
Yeah,
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum, it's me, Wow.
Alaikum salam, brother Mahsan. Yes, I do remember there's a clothing line. Okay. So a lot of clothing line discussion here. MashaAllah, Dream Team. Yep. MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah. Is there any way to dry wet clothes? Okay. So Shasana, there is a clothing line behind the cabin. And there's a clothing line. Okay, so we've got a lot of the clothing line here. I'm so excited about the camp, inshallah. It's one of the biggest camps we've had. We're it's about 225 kids. It's actually a little bit more, but right now it's about 225 kids. Mashallah, I believe we've got 83 girls and the rest boys. Looking forward to an excellent camp with you guys. A lot of you, have been to the camp every year. Some of you have been, since day one, since 2014. So it's going to be another great camp. We got a lot of good personalities, people coming from Georgia to join us, people coming from New York, and I'm talking about volunteers. I'm not even talking about kids, coming from, the Eastern Seaboard. So really looking forward to having all of you guys with us, looking forward to speaking with you and just being able to immerse ourselves with each other for that, for that week, inshallah. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Or any words of encouragement for the new staff before I go?
Brother Rod, a question about the cleanup after the meals. Is the A team handling the cleanup like sometimes in the past, or is there staff for that, or should we have the kids at least stack their plates and cups and participate in that?
Yeah, the same way we did last year. So the table has to clean up. They have to separate all their plates and their spoons and their cups, and they have to bring them up to that area where they throw away the foods and kind of put everything there. So yes, as we did last year, the table is responsible for cleaning up. The year before that, the A team and the kitchen staff, which was bigger, would do that. But we would like to do it as we did it last year, so that we make sure that all each table has to clean up all of their plates and everything before they go.
The one thing real quick, L2, is just to make sure whoever's sitting at that specific table, let's say you get up and you went to get a cup of tea, but those kids know, okay, I finished. That whole team would try to clear out and leave and not clear the table off. And they're left with one or two that were sitting at the table having to clear the whole thing off. So before you wrap up, you see everybody's finished eating. Just make sure you say, guys, listen, before you depart to go wherever, activity, whatever has to happen, please collectively, we need to clear the table, get your own plate, etc. So it's not left with one or two of the campers that are left clearing the whole table. So that's just FYI for anybody that's new, that sometimes that'll happen on occasion. They try to just roll out. So
Right. Another thing is when we're about to eat, everybody comes to the door and we have to keep everybody out of the door. When we open the door, it's like the running of the bulls. Is that the thing that's in Spain? Yeah. So it's like the running of the bulls, right? Everybody just literally sprinting to the food. We can't have that. So if you're in the cafeteria or in the cafeteria area or you're with your cabin, please explain to kids that people are watching them. It's not doesn't it's and it's not that people are watching them. It's just wrong to run like that. So make sure that you calm everybody down. They get to the table, they settle in because they get so excited at mealtime. Okay. Any other questions or comments or anything before I close, inshallah? Okay, 9:54. That's good timing. Jazakumullah khairan. Thank you for joining me tonight. Looking forward to being with you guys in the next few days. Forms, please get your forms in. Secondly, check your emails for the program on Tuesday. Brother Taha, that's where you'll find where you're supposed to be. Okay, but generally speaking, Brother Taha, you're going to be responsible for a group of boys, and you're going to be responsible to make sure that every child is enjoying themselves at the camp. That's your primary goal, is to take care of the people you're assigned to, the children you're assigned to, and to make sure that if you have time to add value to any kid there. So forms, program on Tuesday, and we will see you on Sunday, inshallah. Inshallah.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Alaikum salam, Sister Manar. Go ahead.
I just have a question. The regarding the payment that we should pay, like for the volunteers, who's gonna where should I send it to? Okay.
Excellent question. Thank you. So far, I've got everything covered. Okay, so far we've got everything covered. So I'm not, you guys are giving up a week of your time. So I'm trying not to take any money from the volunteers. Sometimes we have sometimes we have a situation where we need more money, and we've done that historically when we ask for a $50 or $100 donation. The ICM has been generally good. If we've collected $92,000 and it's 93.5, the ICM just pulls it out of their youth account, their youth balance. So the ICM has been so good to us, honestly. So alhamdulillah, I might take some money from just for no reason, but we'll talk about that later. Inshallah. You say hi to Brother Muhammad for me, inshallah. Okay. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We'll see you on Sunday, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
السلام عليكم. السلام عليكم.
السلام عليكم عم بي سيف ان شاء الله.
مع السلامة.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum. Bye.